Nominee and Prime Minister nominee separated us. Our good governor for Pacific Province, the Honorable Alan Bird, opposition leader. Of course, member for Middle Fly, Honorable Master Secretary, our senior member for Irikoyari, the Honorable Keith Yedu, and of course, Deputy Opposition Leader. Thank you, media, for joining us here today. I thought that I will make a few remarks about the state of our country and what we are facing today in terms of the challenges as a country and how our government is performing today and why we are now putting forward a motion of no confidence in order to hold our current government to account for its decisions, its actions, and of course its non-performance. Today we are at the 6th year of the Marape government. That came with a big promise of delivering a country that is prosperous, a country that is going to be rich, and of course wealthy beyond imagination. This is a government that has enjoyed record prices in terms of the global prices for commodities like coffee, cocoa, gold, copper, oil and gas. As a result of those huge price gains that the government has enjoyed, they have increased their revenue in a country to record number of government revenue over those years. In fact, record budgets were introduced as a result of that. You know now that for the first time our country is now presenting budgets well beyond almost 27 billion kina in each year. So that is a clear indication of the ability of government that is collecting good revenue as a result of very good global commodity prices. But many know that that is not a true reflection of where our country is. All social indicators today shows that our country is not performing well. Not only in the region but globally. We have a very declining education standards. Our health services are almost non-existent. It is a poor delivery service in many parts of our country, and that is evident by the number of criminal activities and crimes that are committed that has been reported daily on the media. Social indicators, it's also economic indicators. You have record budgets being presented, and of course increased expenditure as a result of the record budgets. But we're still running a deficit budget. In fact, quite a large deficit budget, averaging about 4 to 5% every year. Now, that has not delivered again to the expectations of our people on the, particularly the basic services that is a basic human right requirement for our citizens. So we have a government that is overspending, sometimes overspending outside of budget, and as a result, many departments and many provinces and many districts are not getting the money that they reflected in the budget. And as a result, decline of services in those provinces and communities continue to go. Other legacy of this 6 years Marape government is that we are now going to have a record in terms of the huge loans that are outstanding, close to 70 billion kina. First 44 years of our nationhood, first 44 years of our nationhood, the total debt was around 30 billion kina. Now it's close to 70 in the last 6 years. Now, if any thinking person who is either involved in business or has some economic or accounting experience, if you are not alarmed by that, you know something seriously wrong. So we are leaving a huge debt for the future generation for this country, for future generation to repay on our behalf. We have now declining infrastructure in the country. Despite huge investments in Connect PNG, you will find that most of the infrastructure are starting to break down because of lack of maintenance and proper investment. These are economic infrastructures in the country. All you have to do is drive around in many parts of the country and see the declining roads in the cities, towns, and communities right across the country. There's been no new foreign direct investment in the country. When you have zero, almost zero foreign direct investment in the country in the 6 years, not many countries in the world go through that, except we are experiencing. When you have no new foreign direct investment, that means that you have no growth in the private sector and there's no opportunity for employment. And this has now, of course, led to low business confidence in the country. When there is low business confidence, you now have businesses now shutting down. And recently we have seen Port Moresby, a company that has been here for 70 years, shut down. When businesses shut down, that means people are laid off. They've got no jobs, no income for their families. We live in Papua New Guinea, so we know the pressure of a one-talk system. A whole lot of us have that problem. No single Papua New Guinean is exempted from it. So you know the pressure that these people who are now going to join the unemployment line will face, and their kids and their families. So this is an ongoing saga. So as a result of that, you see, the nation is calling for PANGU-led government to do something. It is not only leaders of opposition who think that we're desperate to get into government. No, it is the nation that is calling. Our ordinary citizens, our students, our business leaders, business community. Now, they are asking for Marape to resign because he cannot say that I need 6 more years to do this. 6 more years of incompetence, poor decisions, poor judgments, no vision, no plan. This is not what the country is expecting. Country is continuing to have its people live day to day. This is not by trial and looking at all kind of approach and management you have to take into the country. We have to make sure that decisions that any leader or any government makes is going to go into the best interest of our people and our country. In 2019, I thought as Prime Minister, I was doing the right things for the country. That I was putting the country in the right direction for betterment of all citizens. But of course, we were keyboard warriors, and we've got leaders and politicians in my own government, and all walks of life, our people, all demanded that they needed a change. They needed a change. And of course, it's not easy for any leader to make that call. And I understand what Marape is going through. A leader that is thinking that he's doing the right thing, but the citizens are asking you to resign and make changes to your government. So in 2017 elections, it wasn't a perfect election, but the cheating and stealing and fraud and interference like 2022 wasn't happening in 2017. Tough decisions. And I consulted members in my own party. I consulted former Prime Minister Marape and Mr. Julius Chen about how these things were happening. And of course I resigned, hearing the calls of the people. I could have done everything possible to try and hang on to power, but if I did not hear the call of the people, and the call was drowning my ability to manage the country. Because you are managing this noise and you forget about managing the country. So one has to go, one has to give in. So you can understand that, you understand why people don't want to give up power. They think that when they give up power, they forget that they lose influence, they cannot control things, and they think that, there will be repercussions. Of course, as many of you know, I've gone through a bit of a tough time over the last 6 years. I've gone through the courts. I've been accused of corruption and everything else, but I went through the courts and have been cleared, vindicated. So nothing is wrong with that. The process and the systems of government is there. Any leader who feels that they're doing the right thing for the country should not fear the test of the judiciary or test of the law and order a test of scrutiny. So I think it's important that, Prime Minister must know that, this is a position, a privileged position given to you by leaders on behalf of the people. And everybody loves that role. They want to be given a chance to do that. And today we are in this process of a vote of no confidence to hold them accountable. Say, our people are yelling and screaming at every section of the community right throughout the country. It is not one person making this call. It is not opposition leaders who are making this call. We are making this call as leaders that have been properly mandated by people to try and make sure that we have a right government and listening to the people and of course the community that we represent. It is clear that time has come. Time has come. PANGU cannot claim that it's an institution that represents the people. We appreciate and acknowledge the fact that they are the party that brought us independence. They are part of the history of this country. They have a legacy that they have. But PANGU cannot hold on to its power because they have a legacy, but they are an institution. They must know that that legacy or institution or power is given by the people. And the very people that gave you that are asking you to make some changes. So members of the PANGU Party need to stand up. Stand up to Marape and the leadership and of course all the executives that, listen, our people are saying this, we must hear their call. So I think it is important that the Prime Minister sits back and reflects and assess what is going on in the country. And PANGU Party as a political party that has got historical significance to our nationhood. As to say, these positions will change over time. The noise will get louder as we go along. Doesn't matter how many institutions you compromise and control, the noise is going to get louder. Because it is the people who are making that noise, either through the leaders, through the students, or through NGOs, but the noise will get louder. So the winds of change that is upon us, and I am calling on the Prime Minister to listen to the people and act today. And not listening to people who have got vested interest, who are sitting alongside that, listen, you are doing the right thing, so keep going. Either they are blind or they are deliberately leading you off towards the cliff to jump off. But the country said, thank you very much for your service, but you've done enough, time to move on. So he needs to reflect on this, making sure that this vote of no confidence goes smoothly. The leaders need to make it. This is an opportunity that the Grand Chief is making it available to the nation. He doesn't have to do it. He's got a job. He knows the people of Venga love him, and probably many more, but people of Venga especially. So he's done his part for our nation. He's making himself available. So the leaders need to listen to this. They wanted this call. The leaders in opposition have had the call. We're supporting St. Peter to advance us through this work that we are doing. And I think it's time that our leaders in Parliament listen to the call of the people. Those are the few comments that I wanted to make. All our fathers are dying and are dead and gone. There are only very few of us left. So I take it that it is my responsibility to come out here and explain to the nation why this change needs to happen. So that's why I'm here today. So I'll ask the leaders if they want to say anything. And what we are saying is PANGU Party itself, we're happy for them to make a change internally. There are many good leaders in there. But they must stand up and make a stand for the country. And that's all what I am stressing. Thank you. Please. We'll ask. Similar like we did, you know. You remember Marape was PNG before that. Only yesterday he started flying PANGU colors. So, the real fathers of PANGU need to stand up. Governor Ben, please.
Well, thank you, former Prime Minister O'Neill, our alternate Prime Minister nominee. If you go to my office in Wiwe, which used to be Sir Michael Somare's office, you will see a certificate hanging on the wall that says Life Member of PANGU Pati. There are 3 life members of PANGU Pati. That's myself, the Honorable Ian Lingstaki, and the Honorable Chris Iveta. I'll get the Narula and also now the former Prime Minister Ethiopia and Master the Sol only coming on. And so I make the same call. I think the performance of this government has really tarnished the PANGU reputation and the PANGU brand. It started off really well. There were so many really good promises, and I think all of us, including myself, we were hopeful that those promises would be fulfilled. But I think when you make one promise and then there's a promise in current again, and you go adding another promise, another promise. And I think the expectations of Papua New Guineans have gotten to a point where they were expecting some of them to be fulfilled. Unfortunately, to this day, as Honorable O'Neill, let me talk here, record budgets. But it hasn't come with record results. And one of the things I think this government has done, and you've heard me speak on the floor of Parliament, I've raised these issues, for example, with Connect PNG. And I raised it on the floor of Parliament, and someone needs to do an investigation. But estimate below me, M07. When they started, they had 30 contractors, and they boast about this on the floor of Parliament. They had 30 contractors. Today, they tell us they have 300 contractors. Okay? The question is, how did they go from whatever was the original plan to now? For example, some roads are not Connect PNG roads. They are what we call arterial roads. So, a road inside the Wandla district, it should not be part of Connect PNG. Suddenly, they give a 380 million kina contract for a tiny road in a district, or a 247 million kina one, and they call it Connect PNG. The original design of Connect PNG wasn't like that. It was supposed to be the main roads, the main highways that lead to ports that will help to improve our economy. Or missing link roads na this lakaya. Somehow, they've just gone now only edim, or not something for political convenience. Or you remember supporting me, okay, me one black contract, you black Singona. How much? 300 million? I'm right. Now, when you start doing that, you go away from whatever the original plan was. And today, as I sit before you, I can tell you that the last time ECP provincial government and other provincial governments received what we call our functional grants. These are grants that we use to pay for things. It's the same kind of money that departments get. We received the last transmission of money from Waigani to ECP province was in May last year. It's now April. We have not received any money, and I can tell you, all provinces, provincial health authorities, we are running out of medicines. Provincial health authorities have not received their money to operate. Money blow buy marasin na, buying fuel na. There's something where you be passing finish the budget. And it's a really disgusting thing when supporters of government say, oh, you joining government. In the history of Papua New Guinea, have our departments and our provinces and our PHAs gone without operational funds for 3 quarters. You're going to ask him, how much the government department, and first quarter and finish here, and maybe go to second quarter now. All kissing money, will operate or no. And they will all tell you no. So my view is that, and they've hidden all the documents, only hiding all the something now. We have to go and look and dig and try to find out. If you remember the 2023 budget outcome report, which me been talked on the floor of Parliament and we've been questioning Minister of Finance, they reallocated $1 billion kina in that budget to other things. 1 billion. Lingling money. You can go and download him 2023 final budget outcome no treasury website and you check him na by look him inside only suruk him this money. Now when they did that, they cut it from education, they cut it from police, they cut it from health, now only reallocated. We still don't know where that 1 billion kina went. By law, as of the end of last month, third month of the year, Treasury is supposed to release the 2024 final budget outcome. I am waiting to read that document. And I wonder how much more money has been reallocated to friends and cronies. Online staff lo kapan ya onid lo tingin des la. Planning no staff na backup na support na peg him scrum kalab wipe na. They are not thinking about what they're actually supporting. What are you supporting? You are supporting a dysfunctional government. Long time, one man batting fighting treasurer because one fighting was aswa blood treasurer. This is like no wrong blood treasurer. What's happened is that they've sat down in NEC and they are awarding contract after contract after contract without realizing the impact that it's going to have on the cash flow. Now, even one blood trade store owner, and by managing business belong better than how we are managing the country. Mipla ugata degree kili mipla got master's degree na kind degree, and we can't even manage our cash flow. How can you run for 9 months going into 10 months? 3 more months and it will be 12 months. No kat man receiving operational funds. Ogara man kisim pay taso na sina lobista. Now people in the country only know understanding this financial problem, but only feeling effectively. Doctors are having to fork money out of their pay packet to buy marasin patients. The doctors are feeling it. The doctors are stressed out. Police have to find money or go beg him, or man, or borrow him, or steal him fuel, just to operate. Now we all know this, and this comes back to the symptom of a failing central government. You have to remember, our government is highly centralized, and it's failing in the center. That call by the Honorable Peter O'Neill is a very important one. Say Peter because he had the courage to put his hand up. For us, we know that Papua New Guinea needs a change. The people know that Papua New Guinea needs a change. This is nothing personal against James Marape as an individual. But you look at Mosem. First, how much 3 years about here, and we honeymoon here. The people of Papua New Guinea gave you a chance to perform in the first 3 years. Now, if you look at every other prime minister through history, you count him, you go back, start no time, no Somarena, he come. They had 3 years, all of them. The only government that had a longer stint was National Alliance, had 9 years from 2002. Even then, all man very tired. After this honeymoon period, all man very tired. And then the Honorable Peter O'Neill and PNC, they went for 8 years. This line may go 6 now. Or people tired with it. And we need to respond to that call. Okay? We need to respond to that call. Because the fear and the danger is that all man very all belat na frustrated, all you house all you one and a half sim service na it's not there. They are going to vent somewhere. And that's what we need to manage. So it's not about James Marape, whether Mibla like him you or you don't like him you, it's nothing to do with that. It's the fact that you are the captain. Now inside law, over a kind organization where the man who is the boss, he makes the calls. So time will see now NEC start now. One plus contract come now looking more than one plan 120 million and another 380 million. And they decide to award it to the person who bid for 380 million. That's a captain's call. That's what we call a captain's call. Captain, he talk now, you may make him. They can come back later and say, oh, me blogger and NEC make him. No, but captain make him. Now, captain, I mean, making plenty of decision, come. Now, captain need no sense. Team PNG needs a new captain. A captain that's going to come with different calls. Because the calls that this captain has been making has led us to this point. How much money lo borrowing? 4 billion, 5 billion. And call block captain. You know call block mi blogger. Most of the people that are our colleague MPs that are supporting government right now. People are calling them all sorts of things, but the fact of the matter is that all just game supporters. Most of them don't know how to read a budget. Budgets are not easy books to read. I mean, I think 5 plus or 6 plus members of parliament are taking time to read more or something. So, coming back to the Honorable James Marape, coming back to our friends in PANGU Pati, I'm still now. What are you going to do about it? PANGU, you can protect your legacy. Suppose you play decide lo namelo you play magi momla man na come, I'm sure they can come and talk to St. Peter. Mipla lo opposition, mipla no naba. We are just here to voice the people's cry. That's our job. Our job is to respond to the people. When the people have an issue, that's when the opposition voices that concern. And we've been doing it. Okay? The responsibility of changing government is the responsibility of every single member of parliament. Sing out them, and if within their 80 or 85 or 100 numbers also fighting time, if within that number they decide to find another captain, people are ready to hurry to talk stuff. Because that's what Papua New Guinea needs. It's not what the opposition needs. People no come now. Sing out the one Sunday people like. Suppose you believe in like Larry Mibla start yet opposition, you send him captain lo happy. Okay, send him captain lo. Larry Mibla start opposition, you play sensitive. Because that's the call of the people. And we are here to voice that. Thank you. Like the people over there.
Thank you, Governor Fred. Well, I think that's all we are here to say to you, so that our nations are aware of the reasons why we are embarking on this course of a motion. And many of you know that we've tried to put a motion through, but it's never accepted and never went on the floor of Parliament. This is the only second one that is done in this term of Parliament.
By order of the court?
In fact, because of the reasons of the order of the court. Otherwise, it will never be on the notice paper. So, time Marape no line to people time lo 6 time, yes, but I mean we go lo paper lo parliament you mean debate na walk and walk. You know, they've got the numbers, but they are afraid to discuss the real issues that is affecting the country. That is a problem. I don't think in this term of parliament we've had any grievance debate. Grievance debate is where you can complain longer or something. I think 1 or twice we've had it, but that's about it. In the entire 3 years or so that the parliament has been sitting in this term. So once again, thank you very much. Any questions, gentlemen? We're quite happy to take a few questions. And ladies, of course.
Another important last question. You must also all foreign media ask him on half question. Any questions? ABC?
ABC is here.
Post Korea National?
We're always
available,
so if you need any more clarity. I'm sure many of you got all our numbers, so please stay tuned. But it's our country. We have to make sure that we do the right things and the right decisions. So let's report it fairly, and please, some lot of people start 3 or 4 different camps. You look at blood, you look at some outside of them. No, blood camp here, or Grand Papua, or side blow Caribbean. Caribbean made stuff outside, million distablia, sepide stuff outside. So, I'm sorry, people are starting no more something. But most of the members are sleeping in their house and coming to work. We are united in our cause. Thank you, sir.
PANGU took a court order against, for the court to interpret what we are going through now. Will that affect sitting on Tuesday or not?
I think that's was a PANGU court case.
Frivolous.
Delay. So trying to delay PANGU na. Only trying to the money. I think another court but we have a right to challenge, as Governor Bird has already done, Section 145. Attorney General gets instructions from the Prime Minister. The Captain Captain, that's not the funding. So, the aim is to delay any court cases like question section 145 or the implementation by organic law,
63.
Section 3. And what is something boleh dragi migo lotak lulus time and boleh kickstart. So, only one in law country or only one in law respecting law, working for something right, we don't know that, only play big league game lawyers. So, we are taking legal advice and we are also supporting actions taken by government. So, transportation employee may over inam law taso, inam law at general taso. So, we'll see in court. So, but Tuesday, it's good that the speaker made the right decision. For the country. He was under a lot of pressure to entertain the matter on Tuesday and end it on Tuesday.
Take the vote on Tuesday.
Yeah, but he did the right thing, and credit goes to him. Some of us are not calling for his resignation.
Not yet.
I put on the floor and asked him to resign. All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.